Hello, this is my video demonstration and explanation of task 2. Task 2 required me to input a sentence from the user, calculate the number of words, the average length and the longest word, and make sure it is case sensitive or insensitive, not case insensitive. I first, up here, line 4, input a sentence from user. I then make sure the sentence is lowercase. I do this using the .lower built-in Python function. This makes the entire sentence lowercase, so don't need to worry about any capital letters or anything like that anymore. I then calculate the number of words using the split function and the len function. Split is splitting all the words in the sentence into a list. When there's a space, it will count it as another word and it will store the word before the space in the list. This means I can just treat it like a normal list and use a len, which will calculate the number of things in said list. That means I've then calculated the number of words. Then I'd make a temporary value called temp. This is just going to be my list. I just use the split, I do not use a len. This is going to be used later as I need to calculate average length and longest word. I then make some more variables down here. Total letters equals 0. This will be used for my average later on. It's currently set to 0 because we haven't seen any words. Longest word is equal to blank. Again, it's kind of a placeholder for now, but it will be used later. And this is I've set this to 0 because temp up here is storing all the words in the sentence. I need to go through the sentence word by word, but due to how Python works, the index, quote unquote, of each word, it doesn't start at 1, it starts at 0, because that's how lists work in Python. So I've set it to 0 as we want to be checking the first word. We don't want to not check the first word. We mess up everything. We need to check the first word. I now have a while loop. I use I here. While I is less than or equal to number of words minus 1, because the index is set to 0 and length is just length, or not length, but the number of words is just the number of words. I need to minus 1 off of the number of words. Otherwise, it won't. It's the index. We can't go 1 past. There won't be anything there. If we go to number of words, the actual number of words, there's not going to be a word there. That's not going to work. So we need to have it as minus 1 because I starts at 0 and not 1. We then have a if statement. If the length of the longest word, which first run through will be 0, if the length of the longest word is less than the length of temporary, the list of our words, then the index I, so this means that our current word in the sentence, if the length of the longest word is less than the length of the current word we are looking at in the sentence, it sets the longest word to our current word. If we then have total letters, we work out the length of the current word and add it to the total letters. This is used for the average. Then increments I by 1, so then we can do this all again until we have gone through every word in the sentence. Then we calculate average length. The average length of each word will be the total letters calculated in the loop. divided by the number of words. I then output all of that. I output the number of words, the average length, and the longest word in the sentence. Okay, now run my code. Please enter a sentence. Hello, my name is Kane. Press enter. Number of words in the sentence is 5. That is correct. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Average length of the words in the sentence is 3.4. Quick maths tells me that's correct. Longest word in the sentence is hello. That is also correct, as there are, well, it's the only one with 5 letters. Thank you. That is my demonstration.